Surgical procedures can sometimes go wrong, but very rarely are some that could take a person's life away. That's what happened in Heather Meadows' case, who was a mother of two, and her laughter filled the halls of her home, and her love enveloped her family like a warm embrace. Despite her seemingly ideal life, Heather had insecurities that clenched at her confidence like bugs in a house's foundation. So what exactly happened with her, and why did she meet such a tragic end? Let's find out in this episode today. Heather Meadows was always self-conscious about her physical looks since she was very young. Growing up in a milieu that connected beauty with worth, she was always judging herself against unachievable ideals. Despite her brilliant smile and captivating charm, she couldn't shake the impression that her body lacked something, a weakness in an otherwise beautiful exterior. Heather's persistent quest of perfection led her down a dangerous and deceptive path. Enticed by the attraction of cosmetic surgery, she felt convinced that it was the key to revealing her true beauty. With two small children to care for and a husband who adored her, Heather made the unfortunate decision to have a Brazilian butt lift, which would eventually cost her everything. In May 2016, Heather Meadows, a 29-year-old West Virginian woman, flew to Florida for a popular buttock enhancement treatment. She wasn't aware that she would not be able to return home to her two young children. Meadows died as a result of medical complications during a Brazilian butt lift at the Encore Plastic Surgery Facility in Hialeah, Florida, according to the Miami-Dade Medical Examiner's Office. During the surgery, her organs began to fail as fat fragments jammed the arteries of her heart and lungs. She was then rushed to a hospital emergency room and died on May 12, 2016. But that was not the sole reason for her death. According to medical examiners, the secondary cause of death was problems from lipid transfer, implying that the fat particles that killed Meadows likely infiltrated her system through a vein during a fat transfer surgery. Apart from that, a heart defect also contributed to her death. According to the Miami Herald, hours after Meadows was brought to the hospital, the South Florida surgery stayed open. It was also stated by the Hialeah Police Department that an inquiry into her death had been begun, which was ruled accidental. However, Mara Gambineri, a health department spokeswoman, told the Miami Herald that she couldn't confirm or deny the probe, which isn't made public until 10 days after a probable cause determination. But it seems like Heather was not the only woman who died at the hands of this surgeon. According to health regulators, the registered clinic had no active complaints at the time. But the Miami Herald linked Encore to the death of a 51-year-old woman, Maribel Hernanfas, who died immediately after buttocks augmentation surgery in 2013. The procedure was performed at Vanity Clinic, where the surgeons, Orlando Lorente and James McAdoo, were both linked with Encore. Both doctors have a clear license and no complaints on file, although Lorente had a violent criminal background. Among these women, Tola Warren St. Clair was another victim of this cruel surgical procedure who didn't expect the agonizing pain. Lying in the bed in the rental apartment in South Florida, where she had recuperated from surgery, the Yonkers, New York woman realized something was wrong. Soon after her surgery, at about 5 p.m., she was told she could go home, but she required help walking to her car. She was then discovered dead in her bed around 4 hours later. An autopsy performed by the Broward County Medical Examiner's Office in Florida revealed that she died as a result of a combination of surgery-related medicines, coronary artery disease, and pulmonary fat embolism. Dr. Bernabe Vasquez, a Miami plastic surgeon, said the lady should have been checked by her doctor, especially because she complained of acute discomfort following her procedure. If the doctor cannot determine what is causing the discomfort, the patient should be admitted to a hospital. Apart from these women, Ranica Hall, 25, was the youngest victim to die following surgery. In March 2017, she underwent a Brazilian butt lift and died from the same fat injection when her heart rate plummeted. Maria Christian, 32, was another victim who suffered a cardiac arrest on the operating table at Vanity Cosmetic Surgery. According to a complaint and fire rescue report, staff contacted 911, but when paramedics came, they were barred from entering the clinic and told to go around the building to a back door. 5 critical minutes had passed by the time the paramedics gained entrance, and her life could not be saved. These were some of the other stories regarding the same issue. Yet, for the parents of Heather Meadows, are left with unanswered questions long after she died. Meadows' mother stated that she was devastated and was taking care of Heather's 2 young small children. Though an autopsy revealed she died of a fat embolism following the cosmetic surgery in 2016, her mother remained skeptical of the medical explanation. "In your heart, you know it's not right," Tammy Meadows explained. For months, the family sought for answers regarding her death, engaging a Miami lawyer and filed an inquiry with the Florida Department of Health. The doctor who performed Meadows' Brazilian butt lift wrote a report to the state 2 weeks after her death, saying there are no issues to improve on and that the personnel at Dr. Ismael Labrador's Miami area clinic responded appropriately during the emergency. However, a state health department inquiry 2 years later unearthed worrisome evidence that directly blamed the physician for crucial operating room breakdowns. Investigators said the surgeon failed to do an assessment on the West Virginia lady before her surgery and then completed the treatment in 55 minutes, less than half the time it normally takes, according to records and medical experts. The most catastrophic mistake, however, occurred during the procedure when McAdoo infused her body fat into a deep vein in her buttocks, an area doctors advise against, causing the fat to enter her system, according to records and interviews. An autopsy later revealed that the fat had migrated into her heart and lungs, killing her. But what about the clinic that was actually responsible for all of that? Before we look into that, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. In 2014, one of the clinics was named Vanity Cosmetic Surgery. Another was called the Hialeah Clinic before changing its name to Encore Plastic Surgery in 2015. Both names were renamed Eras Plastic Surgery in 2016. They now go by the name Jolie Plastic Surgery, making it increasingly difficult to uncover previous reviews for prospective patients doing research. Labrador stated that the name changes were part of standard business and marketing practices and that they were not done to dodge legal responsibilities. According to USA Today, the Florida Department of Health had also looked into at least 6 deaths and serious injuries at Labrador's clinics. At least 2 doctors were charged with malpractice, and the facility had been cited over 24 times for failing to maintain proper medical records. But that was not it. Labrador was also arrested in 2007 after undercover detectives discovered unlicensed doctors doing surgeries at the facilities. He received 3 years probation and a $30,000 fine. The felony charges were withdrawn in 2010 when he enrolled in a judicial diversion program. It is claimed that Labrador was running his clinics as a business, seeking to extract the greatest money from his patients while disregarding established protocol. Court filings also suggested that 2 of Labrador's top surgeons would execute up to 8 surgeries per day, which is twice the number that experts deem safe. According to a 2014 complaint, one of them earned $33,000 for doing more than 24 procedures in 5 days. Heather was also one of the many people who visited one of Labrador's clinics in 2016 to undergo cosmetic surgery, where she met her tragic end. What are your thoughts on it? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.